Hello, Governor Braun here. I want to welcome you to Indiana. We're proud to show you our new Northwest Indiana Correctional Facility, one of the largest and most technologically advanced correctional facilities in the country. This new facility is essential to our efforts to keep communities safe while offering rehabilitation and reducing recidivism. We're especially proud of the purpose-built Behavioral Health Treatment Unit. Congratulations to Kevin Orme and the Indiana Department of Correction, Poly Jail, and all of our partners who are getting this project done. Once again, welcome to Indiana. Enjoy the seminar.
There's a lot of things that really make this facility unique. Number one is the size of it. We're a little bit over 1.5 million square feet, 29 total buildings on this campus, 4,208 beds. It's replacing two facilities, the existing Westville Correctional Facility and then the Michigan City prison as well.
One thing that's really unique about this prison that no one else in the country has ever done, $1.2 billion in cash. We're not building this prison with bonds. We're not building it with any kind of alternative financing. They gave me $1.2 billion in cash to go build a new prison.
Really the first thing we did was identify that we wanted to use steel cells for this project. That was going to be one of our driving factors. And then integrating all the technology that comes along with these steel cells. The current cells are being put in by Poly Jail Building Company, and they're being put in by good union steel workers. And this job is going wonderfully. I have quality control at every step.
Our team advantage is an extension of Poly Jail. It goes to the partnerships we have in the industry with the leading manufacturers. We just started on site. Poly Jail mobilized about 5 months ago, and we're making good progress. It's probably a once-in-a-lifetime project for somebody that builds prisons and correctional facilities.
The steel cells, I like setting the steel cells. I've done a lot of them, and it's a smooth process and goes very well. Union ironworkers, they're very essential to the project because they've been trained. They're skilled labor. We need a lot of guys when it comes to a project this size. Really very essential for us to be able to take care of a project like this.
And it's just a team effort, like the people from Build Westville, the state of Indiana, everybody that's been involved has been amazing. So the unions up here have been great, the ironworkers, and it's gone really well so far, and we think it's going to be one of the best prisons ever built.
But what makes this facility truly unique is its dedication to mental health. So we have an entire building that's dedicated just to mental health for the offenders that are here.
In Indiana, the Indiana Department of Correction is the #1 supplier of mental health services in the state of Indiana. We went back and we looked at all of the other specifically designed mental health spaces that have been built in several of our other modern facilities. But we reinvented it. We worked with our mental health practitioners to design some of the most breaking edge technology, state-of-the-art mental health treatment facilities. But one of the things that I'm most proud of on this job site is the mental health unit.
So the very first contractor we onboarded to assist us in the design and do the whole design assist process was actually Poly Jail.
Well, our design assist approach in the industry it's a new delivery method that's been around for about 7-8 years, and it's been unique to the corrections industry. And they bring subcontractors on early to help complete the design, keep it on budget, provide new and innovative products to the industry, help the architect and the design team finish the documents. Design Assist ultimately saves them money and adds value to the project. So you're not redesigning it, you're staying on budget and designing as you go. Design Assist is open book, so they get to see the costs from multiple manufacturers, labor, materials, overhead.
This facility will be a legacy that will endure for the next century. And I'd be really proud of what we've left to the taxpayers, what we've left to the correctional practitioners and the people that will run and manage these prisons once I retire.
This is probably the pinnacle of my career, working on this project. These things just don't come along every day. So having the opportunity to be out here as the senior PM and running this team with Build Westville and working with all these subcontractors, I don't think anything will ever top this. I couldn't be more proud of our team, of the work we're doing, and this project we're going to deliver.
All right, well, I don't think I need a microphone, so I'm going to turn this over here, all right? I want to say, first of all, before we go any further in the seminar webinar today, for those of you who were fortunate enough to make it here yesterday for the tour of the ongoing prison facility we were talking about, I think before we go any further, we should probably give a round of applause to, let's start with the state of Indiana, having a secure correctional facility that's under construction, allowing us to come and tour the facility. Then that goes to the Build Westfield team, who basically they shut down most of their subcontractors yesterday so we could tour the facility, and then all the way down to my manufacturers and the Pauley Jail girls who put this whole thing together. So let's give them a round of applause. And without any further ado, I'm gonna introduce our keynote speaker, Kevin Orme, who was the brains and the good looks, all right, behind the whole Build Westfield prison facility, what, 15 years ago? All right. So you want me to tell him who you are? I'll tell you. He's the Executive Director of Construction Services for the Indiana DOC. He brings over 3 decades, 36 years, all right, of dedicated service to the field of corrections, having begun his career in 1990 as a correctional officer at Putnamville Correctional Facility. Mr. Orme oversees construction services across the department, applying his deep operational knowledge to enhance infrastructure and safety standards. A dedicated public servant, he has received the Governor's Meritorious Service Award, Indiana Sheriff's Public Servant of the Year, among other honors. Mr. Orme's keynote will address his extensive experience in correctional facility development, construction, and public service leadership. So, without any further ado, Kevin Orme.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Joe. Good morning, everybody. I assume you can hear me just fine. So you're going to get some intimate knowledge given to you today by some of the best in the industry. I'm not going to try and step into their world. They're going to cover that quite thoroughly this afternoon. I'm going to tell you about some things from an owner's perspective that you don't see and that you don't hear about in other things. So in a project this size, and thank you all for many of you for coming on the tour yesterday. It was a good tour, but on a project of this size, we've never executed a project like that before in the state of Indiana. It's huge, $1.2 billion. I mean, just the duration of the project, the tempo of the project. When you start putting projects like that together, I had never engaged an owner's rep before. I've made fun of owner's rep. I've ridiculed owner's reps on project. In this one, it was truly big enough. You have to have an owner's rep on a project this size. MH Group was who we engaged for that. They've done a wonderful job. They built a facility this size numerous times. They've done really good. So as you're, think outside the box. Think outside of what your traditional construction tempo is, your construction practices, and look and consider an owner's rep, and it absolutely changed my mind. Some other things I want to talk to you about when you're starting to choose your designers. Everybody, when all the word of this gets out, when this broke, I became the most popular guy in the state of Indiana for a couple of weeks. Your phone's going to ring off the hook. It will not stop. When you get into the selection process, find the designers that will listen to you. Find the designers with a proven track record and proven ability to deliver this. You have to have them. You have to have them from the beginning. Designers who listens to their clients. Elevatus has given me a new outlook on designers. They've taught me a new way of doing business, and I'll always be appreciative of that. Look for that. You're going to be team members for a long, long time. This is going to be a long-term relationship. You have to be able to deal with them. You have to be able to deal with not only your designers, but your constructors, your builders, your suppliers, everybody. You're building a team, and that is incredibly important. As you build your team, if I can get this to work. As you build your team, look for those folks with the experience and that will merge into your working group and accomplish your mission. You're going to have things that come up. Very early in the process, we had planned on using a particular lock set in this project from the beginning. A number of things occurred. We ended up finding a solution right here in the state of Indiana with Willoughby. Once again, a contractor, a vendor that was willing to go way outside of their comfort zone, participate in this project, and give us what we needed, and it's been a spectacular success. Steel Cells and Polyjail Building Company have been invaluable partners all through the process. When you watched that video a moment ago, and engaging them early, engaging them in the planning process and the open book billing process is imperative. That's how you get a good product. That's how you get a good process. That's how you deliver to the taxpayers what they need. Build Westville, the perfect partnership of 3 companies to come together and build a project of this size in the state of Indiana. We truly had the perfect pairing, and it has worked out spectacularly. Second thing, do what's right for your staff and your population. There's a lot of things you're going to be inundated with. Do what's right for security. Do what's right for efficiency, both human and environmental. Do what's right for sustainability. Think about those things as you're putting your new design, putting your new facility together. Programming. I've said this for years. Some of you have heard me say this many, many times. The way to save money, Senator, is to keep them from coming back to prison. Give them the accommodations they need to allow them to have the skills to succeed outside and not come back to the joint. That's the way you save money. Give your people the space, the specialized programming. You're going to hear more about mental health programming than most folks will learn in a career this afternoon from one of the best I've ever seen and best I've ever worked with. So she's going to give you everything that you need to know and give you a good introduction to that. But that's key, giving them everything they need to succeed in the process. Explore emerging technologies that are out there today. I'm the definition of old school corrections. Some of the RFID tracking technologies and some of the technologies that are out there today to make your staff more efficient, your facility more secure, more operationally efficient. Explore that. Explore that as part of your process as you're developing your plans for your new prison. Make good decisions and manage outcomes. I know this sounds very simple. This is your opportunity. When you're looking at building your next facility, your next jail, your next prison, whatever your jurisdiction is, whatever your area is, whatever your population is, this is your opportunity to make a once-in-a-generation impact for decades to come. I didn't know they were going to play that Westville video this morning, but the last little clip they did with me in it absolutely sums it up. We will be leaving something to the next generation that will allow them to accomplish their mission for decades to come. We don't build prisons in Indiana to last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Our prisons last upwards of a century. We've given them the space, the expandability, the operational capacity to whatever that mission evolves into will allow them to accomplish it. Do what's right. I know that sounds very simple. Do what's right. Do what's right for your staff. Do what's right for your offender population. Do what's right for your special populations. Do what's right at every turn. You won't regret it. Don't rely on this is the way it's always been or this is the way we've always done it. So many times I go into prisons around the country, I go into jails around the state and many states, and this is the way we've always done it. Why in the world are you doing that? Why in the world are we putting so those of you that are in the jails in here, I know one of the biggest, hottest things in the state of Indiana right now are sprinkler heads in detention facilities. This was the first detention facility in the country to ever seek variances to where we eliminated the sprinkler heads from high-risk areas. We successfully did it. The folks on the variance board didn't bat an eye, but it was just the first time anyone had ever thought out of the box to do what's right for the population. That's common sense, folks. You don't have to do it the way the code says. There are ways to legally negate that and do it with common sense and protect your staff and your offenders. In conclusion, the things I'm most proud of, once again, I didn't know Joe was going to play that clip this morning, but the things that I'm most proud of on this project, the team we've assembled. I think it's the most efficient prison construction team ever put together anywhere. The designers, the builders, the owner's rep, everything has just worked out. We've got the perfect team. We've got the true dream team. I don't say that because Joe invited me here and he's sponsoring the event. I say that out of complete honesty that we have the best team I believe ever assembled. I'm proud of it. Staff safety. The staff safety we're designing into this new facility is designed with a couple friends of mine that lost their lives at the Indiana State Prison. We put everything into staff safety, staff accountability, staff efficiency, protecting our staff. I don't ever want to have to attend another service for a fallen staff member, especially not in a prison we've managed the construction of. This will be the safest prison ever built in Indiana, and the most efficient. One thing I'm really proud of, and some of the vendors, I know this will sound just like BS coming from me, but some of the vendors in here will absolutely support this. The absolute lack of bureaucracy we have in our state system in Indiana. We are charged with managing projects and fielding them effectively and efficiently. In Indiana, you get an answer sometimes within minutes, certainly and generally within hours. We don't have days and days and layers of bureaucracy. We're given the charge we need to manage these projects. We do that efficiently. That saves us an incredible amount of money on the other end. Most states, I go to other states and I shake my head and I don't know how they put up with the bureaucracy. We are blessed in the state of Indiana to not have that. We have great leadership. We've had it all through this project, and I see it continuing throughout the completion of this project. Human efficiency, inmate programming, rehabilitation, mental health. I never thought I'd be saying that I was most proud of any of those things. That's a complete concept, a guy that started in this business a long time ago. But that's what we're most proud of, and you're going to hear about that later today from some really smart people. Enjoy your seminar. Thank you for listening to me this morning. Thank you for making the trip. Thank you for coming to the tour yesterday, and enjoy the rest of your day.